Hello, Misty.
Hello, Isaac.
Hello, Nick.
Hey.
Hi, Nick.
You know what? Fine. Whoa.
Hello.
Wrong button.
I have it on the board.
You have that as a button, Nick? Oh,
For when you're not here.
Yeah.
Hello, Nick.
We want you to be here with us when you're not here with us.
Hello, Nick. That's great. Thank you.
I keep looking at him. I'm like, his mouth's not moving.
Right?
So stupid.
He's
So
like
stupid.
perhaps like a puppet.
Like a puppet.
Stay tuned on Wednesday for that.
Yeah, right.
But today's big topic is Marilyn Monroe.
Charles Manson.
I can't believe you guys let them see a whole minute of my eyeballs.
You know, I wasn't going to bring it up.
Ugh.
Like, I think every now and then it's good that they get to see inside.
Do you think? Do you think that we'll get more viewers if I let them see the baby blues?
I don't know. I mean, we've had this conversation of, do you think the viewers think that you're douchey because you wear them?
100%.
I don't think they do. I think that they think they're funny.
I think thousands and thousands of dudes have been like, I'm not watching this show.
I mean, maybe. I think they're funny, but I know you already, so maybe that has to do with it.
Yeah. It's the irony of the whole.
It is the irony of the entire thing. The mullet.
Do you think
the hawk mullet?
Could I perhaps be like a serial killer?
Could you?
Yeah.
With those glasses? Absolutely, 100%.
Would I be able to like get a harem of people to follow me and do whatever I want, like Nick?
It doesn't seem like it's that hard these days.
Right. I mean, I already got one.
Right?
Two.
You got one follow. Oh, I am not in your cult.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is definitely my cult.
No,
Definitely
not in your cult.
After this, we're going to drink Kool-Aid in a cave in Topanga.
I mean, if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, well, I mean, I'll go watch.
Yeah, honestly, Kool-Aid in a cave in Topanga sounds fun.
Yep.
It really does.
See,
actually.
I'm full of fun ideas, and you guys will come with me everywhere I go.
I don't know about that
No.
part.
Yep. Well,
I don't know.
much like me, Marilyn Monroe had a cult. I can't say Marilyn Manson.
Charles Manson.
Oh.
Okay, so do you want to know why we're talking about?
I'm stupid.
You're not, but
I just keep saying the wrong name.
it's okay.
I'm not looking at my phone. I'm going to hit the slaps.
Okay. We're going to talk about Charles Manson today because today in history is the day that he and his 3 female followers were sentenced for their crime. I'm Misty.
And I'm Ike.
For the next 15 minutes,
We're going to debate pop culture.
my background's in music.
My background's in film,
I know the topics beforehand.
and I don't.
We check the internet for the facts,
And ruin it with opinions.
from pop rocks in your lunchbox.
To Happy Meal toys and swatch clocks. To death.
No,
Oh.
they were not actually sentenced to death.
And now it's time for
Guess
made up
again.
facts.
Guess again.
Charles Manson didn't die until like 2017. He died in prison though.
We have a friend who has a friend that taught
friend of a friend?
a friend of a friend who's into guitars and making of them.
Oh yeah.
Whose friend would teach Charles Manson
You
guitar
know,
in prison recently.
Yep, that's real scary.
Yep.
But I don't know how recently because he died three years ago.
Well, up to the time.
It's a hot second ago.
So I've got 9 shocking facts about cult leader Charles Manson.
Well, hit me with one.
Not Marilyn or
Not Marilyn.
Monroe or Manson.
Nope.
The first shocking fact is that Manson was born without a name.
You know, I read something that was a little different than that. I'm intrigued. Tell me about yours, and I'll tell you about mine.
Ooh, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. The man with
Nope.
the man who everyone came to know as Charles Manson was in fact listed on his birth certificate as No Name Maddox and given the surname of his 16-year-old mother.
So what the thing that I read, his mother, Kathleen Maddox, got pregnant as a teenager, and his biological father abandoned her before the baby's birth. And so shortly after that, she married William Manson and then named her son Charles Miles Manson after her new husband.
Well, that same mother once sold him for a pint of beer.
So she was a good mom.
Yeah, just thirsty. Manson would often tell a story of how when he was a child, his mother once sold him to another woman in exchange for a pint of beer. The boy's uncle was forced to search for him and returned him home the next day.
Yeah, I read about that she was definitely really troubled and that he grew up often being like carted off from one relatives to another because the family couldn't trust his mom to take care of him.
Yeah. I think we could have guessed that
There's some
he didn't
childhood
have a
drama.
great childhood.
Yeah. Apparently by age
Based
13.
on what, Nick?
Well, the murders.
I'm just kidding.
Apparently, by the time he turned 13, he was already committing crimes, including robbery. And he got sent to a boys' school. And apparently, he was sexually assaulted and abused there. And over the course of the next few years, he began also committing violent sexual assault on other boys and was sent to a federal reformatory school.
Which is probably why he developed a sex cult. The Manson family was a sex cult. Fact number 4.
Interesting.
At one time, the so-called family had almost 100 members who were mostly young women, some as young as 14.
I was telling Nick about this.
You just looked at Nick like he was 14.
No, I was telling Nick about this. So, like, Charles,
Much like Nick.
much like Nick.
Some young women were as young as 14,
Oh my God.
like Nicholas.
So there was his youngest like follower. Her name was Diane Lake, and her entire family, like her parents, moved from Minnesota to California because they wanted to live in San Francisco and take part in the counterculture. And they lived in this free love commune called Wavy Gravy's Hog Farm. And that is, she was allowed.
I love gravy.
Wavy Gravy's Hog Farm. Like, there's just inherently something so wrong with that.
It sounds like a brand of gravy.
It sounds like something.
It sounds like we're starting a gravy company after this. What do you say, guys?
Wasn't Wavy Gravy one of the Fish guys or something? Or the Grateful Dead?
I think it's a flavor of...
It's definitely a Ben and Jerry's
Yes.
flavor.
Ben and Jerry's
Yeah,
flavor,
it's one
for
of the
sure.
original Ben and Jerry's
I
flavors,
think it
right?
does have something to do
But
with
it
Grateful Dead.
has some, yeah. Because those guys are giant hippies.
Well, yeah, and the whole Ben and Jerry's thing
Yeah.
is all about
Yeah.
Grateful Dead stuff.
Like Jerry Garcia.
Oh, wait a minute.
Cherry
What-
Garcia.
What happened to Ben and Jerry's Wavy Gravy ice cream?
Yeah, it did go away.
Oh, boy. We got a side deep dive going on here.
Well, anyway, her parents let her just roam free and take drugs and have sex. She was 14 when she met Manson. And basically, instantly, with her parents' full approval, they were like, cool, you're 14. Go have sex with this 29-year-old man. And she began a full-on sexual relationship with him and joined the Manson family. She was one of the biggest people. She didn't participate in the murders, so she was a major witness in the prosecution.
Usually the sex would happen during a family acid drop in which he'd convince them that he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ and would frequently...
Much like Nick.
Much like Nick.
Much like Nick.
Everything that we come up with is just much
Just
like
like Nick.
And would frequently get them to exchange sex for benefits to the family.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you guys done acid?
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have as well. So all three of us can fess up. We've done acid.
Just considered whether
Have
or not I
either
wanted
of
that on.
you, while you were fucking tripping balls on acid, wanted to have sex?
Yes.
Really?
I'm a guy.
You always want to have sex. Never mind.
You said that in a way that may elude people down the wrong road.
I mean,
The average male
you
thinks
as
about
a-
sex every 8 seconds.
You as a male, not just as you as Isaac,
Yes.
always want to have sex. That's what I mean.
Yes.
I don't mean you specifically.
But also me specifically.
But okay,
Much like Nick.
when I tripped acid, having sex, I caught that, by the way. Having sex was the last goddamn thing on my mind. Like,
Yeah.
it was not like, oh, yeah, let's go have some
Yeah,
sex. I was like, get the bugs off me.
Oh,
Like,
Oh,
I don't get it.
this purple dragon tastes funny.
Right. Why is the sky bleeding?
You had some intense trips.
I had some bad trips, man.
Yeah.
I did. I was a teenager, and I was a really fucked up teenager.
We would do 3 hits, allegedly. I mean, if we
Alleg-
did
If
it.
you did it, allegedly.
We should clarify that we is not what you're talking about, me and you, right?
Me and my friends from high school,
And Nick.
and not Nick. He lived in the
not
same city at the
No.
same time, but we didn't know each other.
Right.
We would take 3 hits at a time, not knowing they were triple dips. So we were taking
Oh my God.
9 hits at a time, multiple times a week for 13 weeks. And that's why I don't remember my 20s. Sorry, Mom.
See, I did it in high school, and we would put it on Saturday mornings. We would get cans of SpaghettiOs, and we would trip and then eat SpaghettiOs. And so,
And you wonder why you had bad trips.
because I was a fucked up teenager, and I was very angry.
We watched superhero
angry.
or like hero-based movies, and that by the end of the movie, the acid would have tripped, and then we would have believed we were the hero of the movie.
And you
we-
still wanted to have sex.
No, I'm not saying I was actively sitting there thinking about banging around, but it was 3 dudes in a room sitting there.
I just find it really interesting that like in the 60s, the acid and whatever, it was all like sex and love and peace and whatever, and how that morphed over the next few decades into like the 90s when I did it, where it was like,
don't touch me.
Get the fuck away from me. I'm going to jump off the roof of this building.
Yeah.
It was so very different.
My only experience with it is at a concert.
My last experience was at a concert.
Speaking of concerts, Manson aspired to be a rock star.
He did. And it went real bad.
Yeah. Manson fancied himself a musician and befriended Beach Boys founder Dennis Wilson, who participated in group sex sessions at the family's Spawn
Ranch.
That's funny.
Spawn Ranch.
Sex parties at the Spawn Ranch? Come on. You can't even write that shit. When the Beach Boys changed the lyrics of one of Manson's songs, Cease to Exist, and released it as Never Learn Not to Love, without crediting him, Manson was furious and sought revenge against his former pal, who went into hiding, fearing for his life.
The thing that they forget to talk about there is the tie into the actual family murders is that. So Terry Melcher, who was Doris Day's son, Terry Melcher was a record producer. He was introduced to Manson by Dennis Wilson. When Terry Melcher said, I'm not going to put your record out to Manson, that's what infuriated Manson. The house that Sharon Tate and the other 5 people were killed in was the house that Terry Melcher used to live in. And Manson went to that house often. And so he ordered his followers to go and kill the people in that house. He knew that Terry Melcher didn't live there anymore, but to him, that house personified everything in Hollywood that had done him wrong.
Is that house still up? Like, can we go drive by it?
It's still there. You can drive by it.
Did they film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at the actual historically correct
not
house?
Sure.
No,
I don't think so.
They have changed the address to that house.
Yeah.
So that if you look it up in Google Maps or whatever, can't get there.
It's not as easy to find.
You'll end up driving around on that street wondering what house it was. But
it was 10500 Cielo Drive.
Yeah, it's not far behind the Hollywood.
It's not.
Or the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
I've been past it kind of, and it's it's just a normal Beverly Hills kind of street.
Yeah.
With some old houses in it.
Yep. I want to talk for a minute about the people that were killed that night, because they all have some really interesting stories. So you've got Sharon Tate, who was in Valley of the Dolls and then married Roman Polanski. She was pregnant with her and Roman's first child, and Roman was, I think, in Europe working. But this one's weird. So Abigail Folger. Abigail Folger was the heiress to the Folgers coffee fortune.
Oh.
I didn't realize that.
She and her boyfriend had spent a few months house sitting at Roman and Sharon's house for them because her and Sharon were really good friends. Sharon had just gotten back from working overseas filming, and they had picked her up and taken her home, and they were staying there with her for a few days until she kind of acclimated to being back home, and because she was pregnant.
That was the other couple that was there.
Yeah.
Right. Again, and then her her friend that was her stylist or something.
Right, which was so Abigail's boyfriend was kind of, let's see, I can't even begin to say this name right. Wolszek Frykowski.
Oh, Wolszek Frykowski.
He was a bar buddy of Roman Polanski's, and that's how he met Abigail, his girlfriend. Roman Polanski introduced the two of them. Basically, it was his best friend and then Sharon's best friend, so they ended up dating. And then you've got Stephen Parent, who was the kind of the estate keeper. So he had a little house at the beginning of the driveway, and he was killed that night too. So he was the guy that kind of mowed the lawn and made sure everything was taken care of.
I got an update on the house.
Do tell.
The final resident of the original house was the musician Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails.
Of course it was. That completely makes sense.
Reznor rented the house from 92 and set up a recording studio there. The studio, dubbed Pig, sometimes called Le Pig, in reference to murderer Susan Atkins riding
Yep.
pig in Tate's blood on the front door of the house.
Yep.
And was the site of recording sessions for most of the Nine Inch Nails album The Downward Spiral in
course.
1994.
That's the
That's
best one.
trippy as fuck.
Yeah. The band also recorded the EP Broken and filmed the video for Gave Up at 10050 CeeLo Drive. Marilyn Manson recorded sections of the album Portrait of an American Family at the in-house studio in 1992. Reznor moved out in December of 93, later explaining there was too much history in that house for me to handle. Reznor made a statement about working in the Tate house during a 97 interview in Rolling Stone. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The short of it, long of it is he met her sister. He met Tate's sister.
Oh.
And she was like, "Are you exploiting my sister's death to make yourself famous?" And he was like, "No, I'm just kind of into it."
No, I'm already famous.
Yeah.
P.S.
So it goes on, and then, they bonded over that a little bit. But Reznor took the front door of the house with him when he moved out, installing it at Nothing Studios, his new recording studio record label headquarters in New Orleans.
Which is also super trippy. And
Nothing
vibey
Studios
and-
was later sold, and the facade of the building changed. The front door Reznor removed from 10050 CeeLo Drive is currently preserved in the possession of the owner of the building.
That's a great story. That
Yeah.
whole thing.
And it makes a lot of sense.
And it
It
wraps it back.
completely does.
It wraps it back around to music, which realistically
is what pissed Charles Manson off.
But Charles Manson became a huge Beatles fan.
Yep.
That with the whole Helter Skelter thing.
Yeah.
Helter Skelter is something that Paul McCartney wrote about roller coasters and
Yep.
amusement parks, and Manson became obsessed with the Beatles,
Yep. Absolutely.
specifically the White Album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, spooky. Somebody needs to come stay at my house with me tonight.
So the last person that was in the house that night was the stylist, Jay Sebring, who was a Korean War Navy veteran. And when he got out of the Navy, he became a celebrity hairstylist. And he became really, really good friends with Sharon Tate. And he was staying there as her friend. One of the things that I think is the weirdest, it's very, very LA. So that night before they were murdered, they all went to El Coyote and had dinner.
No way.
You can actually
Yes.
still sit in the booth at El Coyote
Yeah,
that they
it's
all
pretty
sat
cool.
in.
And it's right across from Tarantino's theater.
Yep.
The New Beverly.
Yep.
So I did this one night. Went to El Coyote and then went and watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
And
They
if you
went
had
and-
enough money,
It was their favorite spot to
the
eat.
house is for sale right now for $9.7 million.
Well, let's do it.
Well, it was August 2019, but I can't imagine anybody's bought it in the last year and a half.
Definitely already bought.
Well, we could at least go eat at El Coyote when it opens again inside, and then we'll go across the street for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. Well, there's a creepy little Monday story for you.
Yeah.
Episode 131.
He dead now.
He gone.
He gone. He gone.
All right. Well, since it's not Friday,
We'll see you tomorrow.
bye.
Bye.